Hey, this is Deepak Patel and welcome to this blog video. And today I want to talk about an important topic and what I refer to as like marketing dilemma for financial and investments and insurance advisor, because that's the group that I focus and work with. And one of the dilemma or confusion, if you will, that most people have, and this happens to individual advisors, but then definitely what happens to large firms is, outsource marketing versus do it yourself or in-house marketing. And I thought in this video I want to share my experience and my perspective on this, because when I see a lot of advisors are making poor choices, not really understanding the difference between the two. And this video is going to really help you with clarifying some of the question you might be having, and if you are trying to figure out how to go about getting a marketing strategy in place in your practice. I'm sure you're coming across these options, because these are the two options, at a high level. Now let me break down. There are three ways to implement. So let's say, let's talk about who this is for. So, well, this is going to be applicable if you are an advisor who is looking into getting into social media marketing and looking into using social media to generate more appointments and get more clients, right? And at that point, you have, at a high level, three options. So you have a done for you marketing model. So this is where it's completely outsourced. You're hiring a marketing agency and they're doing the work for you. And that is what called the done for you. The second option we typically have is done with you. And third is do it yourself. Okay, so those are really three choices. If you want to get into LinkedIn, Facebook marketing to generate more appointments, then you're going to find people, they're offering three things. There are some marketing guys and agencies out there that would be doing done for you lead generations, where they are going to tell you that they will create all the leads and you just show up for meetings, right? People who are selling leads, well, selling leads is different. So that's a different type of offer. But some people will create your marketing campaign. They'll build your funnel. They will use your LinkedIn account and reach out to people and send messages on your behalf. That is called the done for you, falls into the category of outsourced marketing. The second category, which is what I want to highlight, because this is, in my view, the best one, and this is what I offer. We used to offer done for you in past and we stopped. And I'll talk about why we stopped. So done with you. This is where you are given clear instructions on what to do and how to do it, but then you're also getting support and you're also getting some hand holding when you start doing it, when you run into problems, which you always will. Marketing is not like, marketing is dealing with human beings, and there's always going to be a need to make some changes, make some iterations, and so on and so forth. So done with you is the second model, where you're doing with somebody, kind of like learning how to drive a car. The last is, do it yourself. This is where you're buying, just online courses to do the marketing. So this is where you're seeing some courses people are selling, where here's how you can use LinkedIn to generate. They are like generally low value courses, could be anywhere between few $100 typically, could be maybe $1,000 here and there, where you're just watching a course and you can learn how to do it yourself, and then that's it. There is no help, there is no support. You can't really get any help if you got stuck. So those are like three different ways today you can get help from people, right? And when we started our business, we started by offering done for you, and it's a very lucrative, for marketing agency, this is great option. In my view, it's not a great option for advisor, and here's the simple reason why. And I'm going to go through the pros and cons of these options at a high level, and then I want to walk you quickly through the math of how you should really look at it and make a decision, because I see most advisors actually want this, right? This is like the highest desired stuff, because if you can just show up to meetings and not have to deal with this complexity, if you will, that may or can happen with marketing, that's what every advisor wants. Nobody wants to do marketing, they just want to do meetings. and they want to get client. And the excuse that I hear from people, well, I'm not a marketer, I'm a financial advisor, I like to help people, I just want to meet people, you do the marketing. And I get that, I understand. Well, even in my business, let's say, if I don't have to do this video, and if I can just speak with advisor, which I do, by the way, a lot, then that would be easy. And I don't do marketing because I know marketing. But I do marketing, and the reason I suggest you do marketing is because I consider marketing a core activity in your business. Because marketing is where you are speaking to your clients, right? You're trying to reach out to your clients, you're learning about your market. And that's a core activity, and you should never ever outsource anything that is core part of your business. Like I know a lot of advisors outsource portfolio management to portfolio managers because they don't see that as core, because they see that their core is planning. And they plan and they hire portfolio managers, and that's fine. Similarly, in my view, marketing should never ever be outsourced, because this is how you are going to attract clients. So for example, let's say if you want a high net worth clientele, if you want people with $1 million or $2 million investable asset or complex estate plan needs or whatever the case is, well, you are the one who are going to be in the best position to see what kind of people you're getting. Are you getting the right people? What kind of problems they're having? Are you offering the right solution to those people? And all that is tied to marketing. If you outsource that marketing to somebody, some guy or gal who doesn't understand what high net worth mean, they're just going to bring people, and it might work. I'm not saying this doesn't work. The problem with this is it's extremely expensive, and generally there's more for these companies to gain than you. So it's a core activity that you should never ever outsource, in my view. So I don't outsource my marketing in my business, because this is how I find advisors. This is where I can find the right fit advisors, because I can't, like most advisors probably are not a good fit for what I offer. But if I don't control my marketing, how I'm going to filter out people that I don't want, and how do I just focus on people I want? That is the reason you should never ever outsource marketing. Instead, you should understand that you need to invest some time to learn this, find the right people who can help you, and then get it done once and for all. The good thing is, if you get a good marketing system in place, it will last you for years. So you don't have to worry about it later anyways, and it will save you a ton of money. I'm going to show that to you in the math that we are going to do. So that's like the three options that you have when it comes to marketing. Now, let's talk about why this is like, the desired thing, right? Because again, you don't want to do the work. Marketing requires you to do some work. You have to learn something. You have to understand the psychology, and most advisors don't want to do that. Now, the done with you, it's a great way to do it, because unfortunately, marketing is not as simple. So for example, I'll give an example. So in our program, we have two primary methods. One is an outreach method where we help advisors and insurance people use LinkedIn and Facebook and use free methods. You're not paying for ads, you're using free methods to reach out to people and get meetings. And then we help them with paid advertising, right? So we have proven campaigns. We have several advisors that have generated multiple meetings, and some have even got clients, and some people have got like high net worth client, right? And we know that our method works because we have proof. People used it and it works. But even then, when somebody takes that and implements that in their practice, they are going to need some changes. It's not going to work the same it works, right? So that's why the done with you is a great service, because you get a proven process so that you're not reinventing the wheel, and you just fast track your way. And then when you get stuck, or where you have to make the changes, you have somebody like me in my program, for example, available to help you navigate through all the changes. And again, all this happens in the initial part. Once you get through everything, and once everything starts working, then generally it works for a long time. And then the changes that you have to make are very, very minimum, and it's much easier to do that. So done with you is almost necessary. I don't recommend do it yourself at all. So if you're seeing all those courses that are available, maybe on a platform like LinkedIn has a lot of free courses, and there are stuff like that. I don't recommend that. I mean, it's okay to do that if you're not doing anything, but you're going to need a lot more help. Marketing is getting complex with psychological side of it. There are many people out in the market. The products that you guys sell, are complex, and you need to really simplify things, and it's going to require some help from people. So I don't recommend do it yourself, but because they're not a big cost, it's okay to try out if that's what you want. But my recommendation, obviously, and I'm biased, and let me tell you why. So we used to offer this done for you, and I'll talk about the numbers, but we were charging anywhere between $2,000 to $3,500 a month to run Facebook campaign. When we did LinkedIn, we went as low as like $750 a month, but as high as $1,500 a month to run LinkedIn campaign for advisors. And very quickly I realized that LinkedIn was actually a lot more work because of outreach than Facebook. So we stopped offering LinkedIn outsourced services because, and also I don't like that because, it's your profile, and if you have somebody behind you trying to reach out to people and message, you're kind of cheating in a sense, right? Because the other person is speaking it to people, and I think I didn't like that, and it actually reflects very poorly on you because the other person can tell that it's not you. So, and also it's a lot of work. So we don't offer that. We stopped offering it right away. Now there are many people still offering it. It's still profitable because people are using automation tool, which again they should not use because LinkedIn terms of service very clearly state that you should never ever use any automation services to connect, message, and things like that. So we stopped doing the LinkedIn part. Facebook was actually pretty good because we could create Facebook campaign in few hours because we have created many campaigns, and we can charge up to $3,500 fee, and it is actually pretty profitable if you think about it. And then the advisory firm, like our clients, would need to spend at least $2,000 because it doesn't make sense to pay somebody $3,500 if you're not spending $2,000, which means you would need $5,000 roughly budget a month. That is $60,000 per year. So I'm just getting into math now, but this is very expensive, and it's great for marketing agencies. Like imagine I could have taken like a loan without anybody in my team. I could have easily, I can do 7 to 8 or 10 clients at the same time. And that's like $30,000-$40,000 per month, which is not bad. And then if I want to grow with team, then I can get to like, a few $100,000 if I want to. But what we find with this, and the reason when we started doing was, again, there's always going to be some changes you have to make. And people firms expect quick results. And when it doesn't come, and when we ask them to make some changes about their offer and the target audience, they don't have the patience. So generally what we found was they'll hire you, pay you $3-4 grand, keep you for a couple months, and then fire you. And that just hiring and firing continues, and we didn't like that, and it's still a very common business model, and it's just not the right thing. And an advisory firm lose a lot of money in doing it. So we stopped completely last year offering this service. Now, let me just quickly walk you through the math that I was telling you. If you're trying to make a decision, and this is an important thing to keep in mind because you need to just, so if you're going with the two options, outsource versus in-house, here on the low end you're going to have somebody, let's say, charges you as low as $500 a month and as high as, let's say, $3,000 a month. So if you do this math by 12, right, this is $36,000, and this is typically going to be for the ads. So you probably need to spend $2 grand on ads. So this is going to be $60K per year. So you gotta have a budget like that to make this work. Now, if you have that kind of money, then you can try this out. Obviously, find good companies and go at it. And this is about $6,000, right? And even here, the likelihood, I would say, of something working, if I were to take a best guess, it's less than 25%. That's the probability of this model working for you, which means you're going to spend $6,000 on the low end. Generally, you'll spend like $7,500 or so. I mean, there are some companies offering like $200-$300, but Again, they're using automation tool, you should never use them. So you're looking anywhere in this budget, right, to do this. And if you're going to do in-house, then here's what you get. If you learn to do this thing from people, then there's no cost. You pretty much have zero cost of being anybody, pretty much, right? And what you get here, and in this case, depending upon how they're doing targeting, how they're doing leads and all that, but I can tell you from our program, when people have, let's say, LinkedIn and Facebook, we basically help them go to close to 500 people a month, which means they're reaching out to people, typically on LinkedIn, 400, and on Facebook, about 100 to 150 people, which means every month. So look like my camera just froze, so I apologize for that, but let me just finish the video. I still hope you can hear me, and I'm just going to walk you quickly through the later part of the discussion. So basically what I was saying was, if you go and do it in-house, then there is virtually no cost of spending money, if you will, because there is no cost of marketing agency. And there are typically two methods. One is an outreach method where you are reaching out to people, and that is how you're generating leads and appointments and meetings and clients. And we have several advisors in the program who have successfully done that. So when you learn how to do that in-house, which again is not very difficult, then you're paying no money on LinkedIn. You only pay for the LinkedIn Sales Navigator subscription, which we highly recommend, which is about $69 per month. And you're able to generate 400 leads, which means each lead is costing you less than like 10-20 cents. Facebook is virtually free. You can get anywhere between 100 to 300 people, which could become a good prospect. Now, the good thing with this is, if you're used to buying leads, as you know, on the low end, you're paying $15, $20, $30 for insurance leads. And if you have asset management lead, that can go as high as $300, $400 for exclusive leads. But here, without paying any money, you can generate up to 500 leads per month. So just let that sink in for a second, because even if you do the math, on the low end, let's say you're getting leads at $10, you can generate $5,000 worth of leads per month. And that is huge. You have no expense and you can generate a lot of lead. Now, the other good part of the leads like this is A, they're exclusive, B, they're coming to you. Versus when you buy leads, the biggest problem you have is when you call the people, they don't realize how you got the number, they don't remember anything. But these leads, they are coming to you, or they connected with you, they know who you are, what you do, and we can continue to educate them with right social media strategy, which means as time goes by, more and more people would be interested in booking a meeting with you and doing business. And this is proven. In my personal case, I now have close to 6,000 advisors between my LinkedIn and Facebook in last 1 year. So this is a method that does work. And I have several advisors now that have created anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 connections with their ideal prospects. So without spending any money, a little bit of time, which you can delegate to your team in your company if you have a team, or you can do it yourself with less than or close to about an hour a day work. So think about, you can save a whole bunch of money, have much more higher chances. Like, I think the likelihood of you getting meeting through this process is higher than 95%, because we have several advisors who have successfully done this thing. So if you got the right process, then the likelihood of this is higher than 95%. So there is no cost here. Now, of course, when you join the program, there is going to be a program fee, which typically is a one-time fee, like what we have for a program, but that is nowhere near like the cost that you have. So that's one option, which means now any marketing budget that you would have that you're spending on people, you can take and put that into your ad, which is the second part of a strategy. And as I see here, you can generate leads anywhere between $10, $15, $20 for lead. And keep in mind, these are inbound leads. These are people coming to you. And what we have seen as a metric is, to generate appointments, the cost for appointment could be anywhere between $100 to $300. It's cheaper for insurance, but if you go into asset management, it is going to be slightly higher. However, this is still very profitable if you work the numbers. So My recommendation, and again, this is just my recommendation, is learn how to do marketing in-house. So you can take all the marketing budget and literally save it and do something else, because this is going to generate some appointments. But as a smart business person, you should always invest in your marketing and take this money, invest into your ad, start running ads at a higher budget, whatever you're paying this guy. And I guarantee you'll start getting a lot more clients, a very, very high value client. And more importantly, the biggest challenge with this model is, let's say you hired me to run a marketing campaign and I'm charging you $3,000, and you pay me $3,000 for month one, month two, month three. And you start to get some leads, but you are somehow still not happy because when you make the calls, people don't pick up the phone, and you're not able to close because of your own sales process or whatever the case may be. And you decided to fire me, which typically happens a lot. And now you spent 12 grand, didn't get really anything out. Of course, you got some leads, but not much. Now you find somebody else. You blame me, you don't do anything first of all for a few months till you feel good about your money that you invested or whatever the case is. Then you find somebody else and repeat the damn process, which is bad idea. Here, what happens is, like any Facebook campaign requires a bit of time to optimize. And this is what people don't understand when you outsourcing marketing. And it's very hard for anybody to make it work on day one. It generally doesn't work. So a campaign does require a few months and optimization, which means minor changes, changing a bit of an ad copy, changing some language, adding additional qualification criteria, playing with the video or the content that you're creating, nurturing that, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of steps. And when you keep hiding and fighting, it doesn't give enough time to people to do this. And that is one of the main reasons why marketing fails for most people. And when you learn to do it yourself, because the investment is so low, you can let it run. I have some advisors who started with like $10 a day budget and have been doing it for 4 months, because you can't lose much money with making that type of investment. And guess what? They have been able to get serious clients. They made tons of money on that little investment they made, and it took them just 2 hours. So whatever I would charge, whatever I would do to, when I charge $3,000 in terms of Facebook ad, our program teaches advisor how to do that in like a couple of hours. Yes, I'm not joking. In 2 to 3 hours, we show you exactly how to create ads, what ad to create. We give you templates that you can take it and immediately start running. And I do this because right now, at the time of making this video, I am spending over $15,000 a month of my own money on my own ad campaign. So the ad strategy that I give you, it is what I use personally, and it is what has worked for many advisors. So when you get somebody to show you exactly what button to push, it's much faster, it's much more safer. And then because it's done with you, we do have support and you can get help as well. And that's why I'm a big proponent of done with you, because you can do it yourself, but then for extreme complex scenarios, you have expertise available from people to help you. And generally the nature of Facebook campaign is, once it works, once you're happy with the numbers and meetings and clients, you can just let the damn thing run for a long, long time without making any changes. So it's a serious return on your investment of a little bit of time upfront. So again, I'll leave it here for you to make a decision. But if you are now at the cusp of making a decision to either do marketing in-house or outsource, just keep these things in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at advisorlearn.com. More than happy to answer any questions. And by the way, if you need, and if you decide to go in-house, then we have a pretty good program, and we'll love to have you in the program and see first of all if I can help you, because this is what we do. We are very focused on giving a proven method. We're always improving and perfecting our process and making it easier and faster and better for a bunch of advisors. We have close to 90 people in the program now, and I know it's going to grow to a few hundred people, which means our program will become really good with so many advisors across North America doing it. So if you need any help, if you want to get jump started and head start and get my help to fast track, then do reach out to me. More than happy to talk to you. But regardless, I hope you found this video useful. I apologize for the little freeze, and please put some comment. If you have any questions, do reach out. I do want to get feedback on the content we're creating. What else would you like me to cover and talk about? And this would really help us. So again, if you like this, please do share with somebody else that you think can help get some value from this content. Thanks a lot for your time today. And again, I apologize for this little freeze, but I still hope that you got some tremendous value, which was one of my main reason to do this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.